Hey folks, welcome back. I'm going to change the turn signal switch in this Lincoln. I thought I'd bring you all along for this one as well. This should go for all the Fords and Mercurys from the 70s, even through a lot of the 80s, especially in pickup trucks. So hopefully that'll work, but procedures should be the same. The switches will not be the same. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Because you want to make sure you get the right one. So anyways, yeah. You can see what this steering wheel looks like in this 1979 Lincoln Continental. And it's going to be somewhat similar to this 1976 Ford F-250, although the difference is between something like this and the switch that's in here and the switch that's in that 79 town car is this does not have tilt steering wheel, whereas the Continental town car does. Oh, factory air conditioning. Sweet, that's a pretty rare option in 1976. Well, let's get started on this. You will need a Phillips screwdriver to get that screw out, and then there's one on the other side, just exactly like that. Oh, and by the way, the reason we're changing this turn signal switch is, see, it locks into this position, but it does not lock into this position. So still works, but I don't like it that way. So sorry about this thing. I've been daily driving this car, and I've not been doing very good at keeping the dust eliminated. So anyways, once you get those two screws out, this will just come out like so, and you got two connections here. This one you just kind of pull, it's just a ground, and it just goes right in those threaded holes. I'll show you what those are in a second. And then you just kind of work this plug off of here and set that aside. The next thing we're going to do is get this nut off of here. I believe this is a 15/16. Yes, 15/16 does fit this really well. Now, if you're not using, this shouldn't be that tight. If you're not using an impact gun, you want to be real careful with, either holding the steering wheel with the, like you see it's locked right now with the key and all that type stuff. There's one other thing we need to do before removing it, and that's getting it in, unless you're, in my case, I have taken this off before and moved it a couple of teeth, just because the car drove straight down the road and all that, but just needed it. But I'm gonna keep it exactly like this, so I want that to be just like so. But you don't really want to do a whole lot of force with the steering wheel lock. You could break it. This is these older vehicles and stuff, this is an old car, 40 some odd years old. So anyways, but yeah, this should not be very tight getting off. Okay, so there's the nut. Appears to be no washer on here, so you will need to get a steering wheel puller. Most auto parts stores can rent them to you. Okay, most of them are gonna look through something like this. I don't remember this one I got on Amazon at some point. Whatever, wasn't really that expensive. Or no, actually no, this came from Harbor Freight. Never mind, Pittsburgh. So I've used it quite a bit. Even used these things for doing the Chevrolets turn signal switches and key locks and whatnot. So we're gonna pick this, and then we're gonna pick, I believe, nope, that's metric. Probably gonna be these guys. Okay, those black ones weren't the ones, it's these fine threaded ones, and you want to just thread it in here just till it just stops, just hand tight. Stick that on there like so, and then hold on. Actually, if you're doing this one-handed, I'll start down here. Yeah, so just, I like to just to where it stops. Doesn't need to be tight or anything like that. You got, you know, as long as it's in there enough, then you'll get this started. Like that, sort of. It's difficult to do with one hand, sorry folks. And then you stick the other side in here. And just pretty much get them as even as you can. And then you'll start snugging this down a little bit here, 1/2 inch, or I only got a 13mm wrench. That was just, you know, and then you're gonna want to kind of hold the steering wheel. I'm just gonna kind of hold it with my knee, just because I know I've had this wheel off before and it's not really that. So what that's doing is pushing on this part right here and pulling on that part right there. And once you get it to a point, it's just going to come off. So it's like that. And there's your turn signal switch. And there, you can kind of see how this, you know, see it's got some things broken in here. So if it's going to lock into place, let's watch up here. And see how it locks right in there. Unlock. That little tab is busted off here. It's probably falling down in there. You know, you can see this is just old plastic and it's just extremely brittle. And yeah, let's go have a look see at our new one. Okay, got it from this Old Carts Parts Northwest, Kent, Washington. This is the switch. Ordered it off of eBay. That apparently is the part number 7973, all with tilt wheel. So you want to make sure that you do get that. And then as we get this out, this will make a lot more sense. So anyways, this is the new one, where we got it from. Price I cannot remember. I got too many parts coming in and out of here with a bunch of different things in the shop. So, and plenty of things outside and back there. Can't remember when parts come in and out of here. I can't remember all these costs. So sorry about that, folks. It'll probably be different anyways. This is a new aftermarket made part as far as I'm aware, because it does not look like anything like a new old stock NOS or whatever part you want to call it. I'd rather it be something like this, just because it'd be newer, because even in a one that hasn't been used in a new old stock or something like that, plastics could still kind of be brittle. But anyways, hopefully this will work. We shall see. Alright, so we want to get this lever out, and you see this kind of got these little slots right here. Of course I need to clean off my pliers. Oh my god. This just unscrews. Just be careful with everything you do in these things. I'm going to need 2 hands for this, but you'll see I got it turned a little bit. Okay, once you get it out a few turns, and it just unscrews like so. See that little bit of surface rust here. This car lived on the Oregon coast, and so we get a little bit of that in this car. But anyhow, so yeah, so we got to do there. Get that off. Right now I just happen to have the key just in the, it's not on, but it's not in the lock position either. I don't know if that really matters or not for what we're doing here. If you are going to get into the ignition switch, you're already pretty close here. I don't think you have to remove any of this stuff to get this ignition out of there, but I'm not 100% sure on the Fords. I've done a couple of Chevrolets recently, but it's been a while since I've done a Ford. So anyways, what we need to do is start getting the screws out of here to get this off. Kind of basing this off my memory a little bit, but I know that we've got a Phillips screw right underneath of here and another one right there, and that should be it, because that just doesn't feel like it's turned on. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 screws out of here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, that is pretty much what holds that in there. See, now we got this thing loose, but we're going to have to do some more stuff down the line here. We're going to have to get, in this car, you're going to have to get this panel off of here. So we're going to take these 2 Phillips screws off of there and get that off. You can kind of start seeing that we've got our wiring harness right here and a plug. So, and this car actually has this little deal right here, so we can kind of just finagle this out of here and get it out of the way. Okay, so this, we're not really gonna get that out of there. I don't think we need to. One thing we do need to do though, as you notice, this new one just came like this. So hopefully these pins can come out of here easy enough to do that, because I don't want to have to be cutting any wires. The other thing is, I wanted to make sure that, you know, if you're gonna go color by color, do they match through here colors, because it's not unheard of that it go through another side of the plug and it's a different color wire. Got two different plugs here, and so what I want to do is I want to make sure that we've got, you know, these being the same color. So we got solid yellow. Actually, that's is a solid yellow, but then we got a yellow with a green stripe here, so that's it's not looking that good. Hold on a second. Yeah, got us a little bit better light. You cannot beat these old school drop lights. Just get you an LED bulb to screw in there, that way they don't get hot, and if these things fall on the ground, they usually, the incandescent light bulbs would burn a filament out. This pattern is just so much, look at all that. I mean, you know, you can go from here all the way up to here and you can see. So anyways, our colors do match through plug to plug. We are just a smidge different because we don't have a green stripe on this particular wire here. But let's see if we got white wire with a red stripe. We do have that. We do have, I'm assuming this yellow one hopefully is that one we're looking at. We've got this white with a red stripe here. Lit side. Next and over, we got a solid blue. You can see that we've got a solid blue right here. I'm gonna go through all these and see what's what. Okay, the colors don't quite all match. We've got 13 wires here, and we got 13 wires between this plug and this plug. And chances are, you know, getting this thing finagled through this column, you'll have to have the deal off anyways. But you can see that, you know, colors to color go just fine through each plug, so that shouldn't be a problem. We're going to go ahead and unplug these, start finagling this thing out of here. Okay, so this big plug, it's got these little tabs on both sides. You kind of want to just carefully get in there with a screwdriver and do one at a time. This one, I haven't figured out how to do that one yet. Okay, this one's a little bit harder, but yeah, you kind of just, let's see if we can get this guy out of the way. You kind of just need to lift up ever so gently with a screwdriver on this little deal right here, and it comes right out. It unlocks from that little tab right there. Okay. Hopefully I can have y'all propped up right there so that and not tip y'all over. I want to just see how well this is going to start coming out. Not too good so far. It's kind of hard. Mainly just wanted to get this out and get these pins out of here, but you can start seeing how this is going to be in there. That little U-shaped kind of bar thing or whatever is your tilt lock right there. It kind of just goes above that, so we do have a couple of zip ties. We could probably get this rubber off of here to make it easier coming out, possibly. So, and then when you're back in here, you want to be careful to how I've got it like this. I just wanted to get this out here where I can work on this plug, because we know this plug's not going through that hole there, so we need to get it out. I'm also going to snap a picture of all these wires so I know which ones go where in case we have some issues or something. Be real careful and mindful of this little cable here. That's what runs your indicator deal there. So after I get this plug and all that off of here, then I'll show you and tell you how to do it. I just don't know exactly right at the moment, but once you do that, then I'll put this back through here so this will go, you know, more straight and go out straighter, you know. Might even cut this off here just to make it easier. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but okay, so this kind of just oh man, I'm trying to do this where you all can see it. Just want to ever so gently pop this out. Like that. Okay, this is actually pretty easy. You got these little tabs right here, and what you do is just ever so slightly, you know, get a hold of the wire of the one that you're wanting to get out, and then you just barely pick up on that and just pull, and the pins come out. Do another one right here. Do this one up on top. Okay, hopefully I can see. I'm pulling on at the same time. I just kind of push that down. Do another one. Just kind of don't really pull on it. Push down first on the little tab, and then puts the pressure on it, because if you know, you just have to work it out. It's really not, I just didn't remember how to do this. I had an idea that this is how it went, but you pull all them out. They don't move much. See, just like so. Okay, get it off and set it to the side. This one here looks like we just gotta finagle this front piece out of here somehow or another, just very gently. A little bit more, like that, and then let me figure out how this works. It's got tabs similar to the other plug, but they're just further down, and you're probably not even gonna be able to see what I'm doing. But again, we're just barely moving them up, and it's pretty easy. It's really not bad. Okay, we're gonna finagle this out. We're gonna push on the bottom side here as we pull this out. Might pull that rubber off. Hope you saw what I was doing. Oh, we got another wire here I forgot to disconnect with another Phillips screw on there. It is right there by the, you can see it right there. We got to take that off. You're probably yelling at the screen. You forgot one. You can see it. I don't know. Alright. Okay. I don't know what that does, but take it off. And then you can get this to come out of here. You just have to finagle it out just like so. Not too shabby. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off, and your new one does come with one. Probably just gonna leave it way up there. I'm gonna tuck it up in here like this, and get all of these. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna run some electrical tape and tape up all these things as small as I possibly can. So let's get that done. Okay, that's just kind of what we did there. You can see that made it really small because for one thing, I don't know if you can really tell, but before when we had it, it's going to go in kind of up here, but then it kind of does drop down and go in there. So, but you'll know how it goes. But this should just go straight into here, pretty easy, I would think. And then what I'm kind of doing is I kind of used my finger right there, and I kind of just started and guided this down. As you can see, that's that's the end there. Snake's head of the snake, whatever you want to say. Sorry folks, it's sometimes kind of like this camera's all the way to the back of the seat. I can't get it back any farther, and yeah, I'd love to be perfect on the camera filming, but it's just not always possible. I'm doing so. I'm gonna get this started. Now it's okay to just go ahead and pull this down through here, because we're gonna just pull it up here to work on it again, and then we're gonna get this thing just gonna pull this into place. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing. This is just a plastic cover, kinda, just to protect it, I guess. We're gonna get that thing screwed in place. And let me go ahead and do that instead of just, I'll pause it while I'm fighting with it. Okay, then you kind of just push and line this up here. Your hazard switch there. This, I think, has something to do with the canceling of the steering wheel when you rotate the steering wheel around. I did notice the older one had a hold on a sec before we do that. Okay, what I was checking was making sure, I'll go over that in just a second. I'm gonna get this other screw in here. Get this thing mounted in like it needs to be. Okay, on the old one, I noticed that on this thing here we had two deals here, and on this one we've only got one. and there's really no way to do it. It's just, that's just the way it came. Hopefully I think it's something for the horn, but anyhow, okay, I'm gonna get this thing screwed in here now. Oop. Sorry, ladies and gents. All right, sorry about that, folks. So we got this thing in here. You can see it locks in that position and locks in that position. You can kind of see how that tab kind of locks there, undoes it there. I think when this thing comes around and then goes like that, that's what cancels your steering or your turn signal. So we're gonna do a left turn. So if you rotate the wheel around to the left, click, there's your clicking you can hear. Let's do another one. Another clicking you can hear. Now you turn it back to the right and it cancels it. That's pretty much how it's supposed to work. So okay, this was in this position with the wheel the direction we're going. The tilt does work, but I can't do it without two hands, and it's hard without the steering wheel on there, but that works just fine. Tested that. I'm gonna get this thing wired up here. So all right, first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and slip this protective deal back up in here as far as it'll let us go. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and undo this tape job. It worked really well for us, snaking that through. All right, so these are real easy to just, I had to take some time to do this, you know, but you can just snap these back into place, and once you get them all in place, put your plastic cover back in. This is the way I think this needs to be. If you're gonna go with, you know, this exact same brand or whatever, you know, up here in this top row, and kind of pause this a little bit. What we've got here is a black with a pink stripe, and we got a solid green, and we got a light green right here. They're kind of twisted, and then we got this orange with a kind of a turquoise stripe, and we got this green here with a red stripe, kinda. Then we got this white with a red stripe, and then we got this yellow with a blue stripe. And if you flip this over, underneath here you got this one's blank, and you got a solid blue, and you got this white with a green stripe here, and then this green with a white stripe. Perfect, huh? And easy. Smaller plug. This is the top part there. So we got a brown with a white stripe, we got a purple with a yellow stripe, and then we got a black with a white stripe. So I think this is gonna go. So I'm gonna plug this in, see how it works. And don't forget to run your wires back kind of through this metal deal. That's, you know, that's how it was. So run them all through here like this, and we'll just meet up with the plug right here. Snap it back in. You want to make sure they're all the way in. We're going to get a zip tie, and I'm going to tie these things, tape this up and tie it up in there a little better, but that's that. So right now, we can do a smidge more testing. We can okay, 4 ways are working. Which is good. Okay, we'll turn the key to the, well, obviously the wipers work. Must have bump that switch. Oh, bump that switch, and then it turns on the first click. When you push it forward, it clicks into the first deal. Lights are on right now, just the park lights. Okay, left turn, right turn. It's working. The other thing that happens is when we actuate our turn signal with the lights on, we got this cornering light. See if I can get a little bit better view of that. Like so. Okay, so far we've tested the functionality of the turn signal, the four ways. We did it locks both directions. It cancels as this is turned around. Hi, kitty. And we've tested the functionality of the cornering lights, if that has anything. I don't know exactly how all that. It only does it when the lights are on. If the lights are off, that cornering lamp doesn't come on out there. So yeah, anyways, tested all that. Tilt works. So that's all we can test right now until you get the wheel back on a little bit more, because we can't test the function of the horn or anything like that until or the cruise control, until we get it all put together. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is tidy up down here, get these wires tied up a little bit, put the cover and all that back on. Actually, forget that. Not going to do that right now, because if say something doesn't work, we don't want to have to take all that apart again. We've already got it, so we already know that a lot of main function, I mean the function that we were here to fix, which was that right there, does work. Well, it doesn't now, the key's not on, but that part does work. So we get this steering wheel put back on. Hopefully it'll stay there. So I'm going to put my steering wheel on exactly straight. Okay, we're going to get the nut. Now, this doesn't have to be super tight, but just get it snug. Steering wheel lock works. Cancel works. Yeah, I'm just testing the, you drop this down, you can hear it grab it, boom, cancels it. Okay, so far that's all good. Okay, so now take this guy here, start it in. We got that tab there and that tab there. And then this guy, like I said, goes right in the, just kind of goes right in them threaded holes. And that goes there. Horn works. Okay. Now we get our screws on the back side. Well, folks, that's a wrap. We got locking going on there, canceling, both sides working there. Really not too tough to do. We know that everything's working. We haven't tried the cruise control yet, but might do that. Yeah, I might go test cruise control. That way, make sure we got all them wires, everything right, in case that's something there. So, well, the cruise control does work just fine. So I just test that. All the buttons seem to do what they're supposed to do. So apparently, hopefully, we got everything hooked up right. So, anyways, yeah. The other thing, the AC works in this car really extremely well. Off of 134A. I've got a video actually. You'll find it on my channel. Go search through the playlist Lincoln Continental and find it there. And find out what we switched around in the system and how we redesigned it to make it work. You know, I daily drive this car every day since right around the end of May, and we're in the 90s to 105 a lot, and AC just is as cold as can be. Cold as I remember another Continental that I had that was almost as cold as, you know, R12. You can't beat the R12. You can't beat it, but you can make it work without having the R12. So, anyways, check that video out if you're curious about that. So. Well, the video's not quite over with yet. I thought I'd bring you along on this little issue we got going on that I didn't realize till just now. And you know, you might have this issue too, so that's why we're gonna, this moves a long ways before it reaches for the tilt, and then it's actually pretty hard to push, and I don't like it. And this used to work really well with the other switch that was in there before I messed with it, so I know there's something going on. So yeah, we're gonna pull this thing apart again and see if we can figure that out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I figured out what's going on here. So you can see this kind of a nub right here, this little indentation right there. Well, this nub right here actually goes into that, and I think what was going on with this one was, and I'll show you how to get this off if you need to have to do the same thing or whatever, but I don't think this was going, yeah, I'm pretty dang sure it was. Kind of see how it's kind of mushrooming the top of this. I don't think this was, you know, I don't think it's just not meant, or it's not made, you know. And you could just go ahead and do the you know, like scrape around it, or, you know, take a little Dremel or something and make that smaller. It'd probably fit in there, but I just decided, since it was easy enough, to remove this, and I'll show you how to do it. And we're gonna get this. I just wanted to film this right now because I think this is gonna work and work better for the tilt. Anyways, we had way too much of a gap, and I think this is gonna work good. Let me get this thing put back together. Okay, I got this thing you know, put back together, and that is exactly what we had going on, because we had way too big of a gap in here. This thing was all the way, you can see now it's got some space now, it touches, but when it was in there, this thing was actually, it's hard to explain, this was like out here more and touching this deal here, and you can see how it's supposed to push on that lock. There we go. Doesn't take much force to do it now, but we had to go a long ways, and it just wasn't working right. Let me explain what I ended up doing. Okay, so we got this deal right here. I hope you all can hear me over this fan back there. This is where your lever screws into, you know, there's supposed to be a spring on here. This one just came off. This is actually the new one, from the new one. This is from the old switch. This part, remember I told you, you can see how it was smashed right there. It didn't get put in there. I'm surprised I didn't break anything in here. Lucky I didn't. So anyways, what you end up doing is, let me see if I can get this camera set up. Okay, so what you do is this is a 1/4 inch socket. Just take this screw out right here, can see the green part of it there like that. And then this just slides out like that. You see it's geared or whatever. Now this is the new one. I thought it was, the old one was a lot better machined and doesn't have so much slack in here or whatever. I don't know, I just felt that it felt better. So I went ahead and used the old one in there. You know, and then to put this together, you just slide this deal, you know, you can see how it just goes all the way through. Just goes all the way through right there, and then just stick your screw back in, and much more simpler than that. Well, that's what we end up having to do. Alright folks, we're now actually done. Everything, this works so much better, just like it used to. I don't mind pointing out my mistakes on these videos and stuff like that I do a lot. I'm not saying I do a lot of mistakes, I mean the videos that I do a lot of. I don't mind pointing out the mistakes I do, because, you know, helps people learn. Anyways, yeah, it helps people learn. I mean, I'd rather learn from somebody else's mistake rather than making my own. But anyways, you know, it wasn't really per se, you know, can't really consider it a mistake too much. I mean, especially if it, you know, it didn't leave the shop, even though it's my car. But I mean, it, you know, if I'd have been doing this in the shop for somebody else or whatever, you know, I caught it before, you know, and realized that, you know what, this just isn't working that great. And now we've got it working good tilt. You can kind of do it with, it's hard to get it down with one hand, but you can definitely go up with it. You know, so anyways, yeah, that's a wrap. I hope that helps you out a bunch with everything. As far as the product, that brand of switch, I'm kind of like 50-50, as I'm, you know, it's fairly cheaply made. I'm sure there's a lot better aftermarket ones, and you might even be better off if you did find a new old stock one or something like that. I'm probably gonna look around for something like that. It's just gonna be a lot of money. This was, I mean, I think I looked at the receipts, like 130, 140 bucks or something like that. Maybe you spend $100 more or something, you get one better, hopefully. I don't know. I'm not overly impressed with it. You know, it functions all right, but it just not, what's the word, you know, that whole thing with that little, you know, that thing was too big, wasn't machined good enough to fit in that little nub. I could have fixed it that way. I just felt better using the one from the old switch, because I just felt that it was better, even better plastic, being 40 some odd years old. You know, and I know it's original because it has an original Ford. I mean, it's an original Ford part. I don't know if it's original to this car. You know, it could have been changed in 1995. Who knows? But it is a Ford part that was, you know, that was there. So, anyways, hopefully that helps you out. And if any questions, let me know. But it's really not too difficult of a job per se. I just had a little bit of difficulties, but you know, hopefully maybe you won't, and then you'll be able to check yours and make sure it works before you get it all put back together like mine. So anyways, thanks for watching.